Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here. I'm recording this video because I have so many updates. I have so many updates to give you. I've been a little quiet with the updates. Well, because life has been happening. We're in a 9 bloody year. It's a snake year. There's been so much shedding of skin. It has been so freaking intense. And like midway through last year, towards the end of last year, the beginning of this year, I've been like sending out the warnings. It's a 9 year, people. Nines are intense. It's time for healing. It's a gigantic spotlight over anything. It only lights up what you have not dealt with, what is unhealed, what is open-ended, what has been swept under the rug, shelved. Like it's only going to light up that stuff, and there will be mass everywhere. You will see things um, fall apart everywhere. Breakdowns, job losses, like everywhere. People getting sick, people literally dying. Like it's everywhere. And it has been so freaking intense. And I wanted to record this update because, well, really, I'm a 303 life path, and threes are, or this is authenticity, this is truth, this is sharing authentically, using your voice to speak as your tool, as your modality. When you're a 303, there's nothing else there to lean back. There's no other numbers to lean on. So if you're not expressing yourself authentically, sharing yourself authentically, if you're not using your voice to do that in whatever capacity, then shut down. Shut down, shut down, shut down. So clarity, truth are two things that create safety for a three energy, and a three energy needs safety in order to do what they do best, and that is create and play and thrive and grow and expand, etc., etc., etc. So here I am. Here I am. This is warts and all, life update, business update, energy update, all of it. You're going to get all of it here, okay? And I'm a little nervous about it. I'm a little nervous about it because it is warts and all, is what I'm promising you. Um, so when I was recording all of these videos and doing all these posts about the 9 year and warning, one thing that I was saying is that no one can escape this. None of us can escape this. Okay, not even me. And I would say things like, the whole spectrum of people get impacted by this because the whole spectrum of people are living in the year 2025. Those of us living in the year 2025, guess what? You're going to feel this energy. You're going to feel it. And so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have done no work on yourself. You've done no healing, nothing. You're going to feel it. It's going to hit you hard. If you're not aware of what's going on in the world, it's going to hit you freaking hard, right? You kind of want it to. That's the point of the nine energy. You want these things to be drudged up from the deepest, darkest places that they've been hiding because they haven't been serving you, right? You want it to be drudged up, brought up to the surface so that you can transform it, you can heal it, you can grow from it, right? That's the whole point. Okay, so we want this to happen, even though it sucks. Okay, so if you've never done any work on yourself, you're not someone who's aware of what's really going on in the world, it's going to hit you hard. But equally, if you have been working on yourself, you've done monumental amounts of work on yourself, and you're super aware of what's going on in the world, then guess what? You're not the nine energy of this year is going to highlight the deeper stuff, the darkest of the dark stuff up to the surface. Okay. This is what I've been saying this year, all year, the end of last year. I've been saying this. Okay. And I have not disappointed. I have absolutely delivered on this prediction. Okay. On this reading. So, and what I want to say is that, like I said, nobody can escape this, not even the messenger. So, what I want to share is something very, very vulnerable and something that I am still working through and still unraveling for myself. But without sharing the gory details, and they are gory, I can still share with you openly about what's been going on because I'm not the only one. Okay. And this is why I need to share this because I'm not the only one. Okay. So over the past, so March last year, I started a podcast. And if you've not listened to the first episode of my podcast, every time I think about that episode, I absolutely cringe because I think it was like 2 hours of me literally talking about myself and my story. And I didn't look at the camera or the screen most of the time because I was so it was so intense. And I thought probably for too many hours that I should scrap it and re-record. But the whole intention of that episode was authenticity. 303 life path, authenticity. Okay. And part of the reason why I started that podcast was because I sat down, I did my own chart, and I was like, okay, what advice would I give myself? If I was reading for me, then I've just got to robotically follow those advice because I wanted to test my own method, right? And so here I am. And the things that I shared in that first episode were things about the kind of trauma and abuse that I had gone through in my life and how basically a big deal it was for me to be starting a podcast because I lived most of my life as like mute, really not speaking and covering all the bases so that no one would ask me a question. Biggest fear was being asked a question because it literally meant I'd have to speak. And I went into detail about some of the abuses that I had experienced, childhood sexual abuse from my dad, who was pedophile, right? Nervous laugh there. um, so if you want to catch up on that, go back and watch that episode. Okay. The things that I shared in that episode were things that I had shared and had been okay with sharing with people for years. I had been working on self-healing for more than half my life, since I was basically a teenager, because I had realized pretty early on that I was a bit, messed up in a lot of ways. And so I've really been working on self-healing since probably about the age of 15. Um, and by that point, I had gotten to a certain level of okayness, acceptance. Being a victim of child sexual abuse, of the abuses that I was aware of, wasn't something that I was uh, gripped by anymore, in a sense. Hope that's landing. So I was okay to speak about it. And I was an open book, if we were one on one, or if there was a group of 2 or 3 people that are close friends or whatever, they question, like, you ask me any question about it, I'll answer the question. That's kind of the level of okayness that I was at with it. I'd lived a lot of my life hiding it all and feeling like a freak and dirty and gross and shame and all of this stuff. And so I could never, it was this big dirty secret that I had. So I got into a point where I thought, okay, I'm okay. This is okay. It wasn't my fault. I'm not dirty. All of this stuff, I could share about it pretty openly with people without getting so wrapped up in the emotions of it. So I thought that I'd be okay when when I recorded that first episode. And it was the next step really to do that because it takes it from intimate one-on-one type scenarios to, well, this is public now. This is for the world to see and hear. And I don't know who, from where, how many are going to listen to this, but it's putting it out there in a really public way. And I recorded that episode, like I said, doubted myself a bunch of times and, did the whole not look, send thing and then experience the strangest experience walking through life after that. I can't even explain what it was like, but that was the beginning of a deeper unraveling for me. I whatever level of okayness I got to with the with what I with with the level of abuse I was aware of at the time, it was like after I'd recorded that episode, um, it was like I found a trap door in those memories and have since found multiple trapdoors that have trapdoors within those trapdoors. And so I'm saying and a lot because I'm nervous. What I have learned about myself and am learning is that actually my dad, who I thought was just your average small town pedophile, is actually what I can gather was actually some level of Satanist. And some of the memories that have resurfaced for me that I had been deeply processing for over a year now and unraveling have been memories of ritual abuse, of many forms. And yeah, it's and the further I dug into my own family history on my dad's side, the more evidence I kind of found to back it all up. And I will, I do plan on sharing some of the details, some of the more gory stuff, but right now this is enough for me. This is enough for me. And I have shared it one on one with a few close people, some of the information, and some people have even held space for me through different flashbacks. Flashbacks have been quite severe and have been ramping up as well, like the severity of them. It's very difficult because it's so patchy. The state that a child is in when these events are occurring is a state of adrenaline. So that's how the memories get stored. They get stored in fragments. So when you receive them, in my experience, it's very fragmented and not like it doesn't make sense. And there's a really big denial period and pain and, the body memories and the emotions. And those are the things that you can't deny. The visuals that you receive, oftentimes I find that people will not, they will not believe things that happen for them when they receive the visuals, but what can't be denied is the body memories, the physical pain that gets relived through a flashback, or the emotion that comes through also. Those are not, you can't fake emotion, you can't fake physical pain, you know what I mean? That's coming from seemingly nowhere. So yes, this has been what I have been going through and working through, healing, unraveling, making sense of for myself over the past March last year. So a little over a year now. And it's been a very rapid process, a very rapid unraveling. And it's something that I will likely be unraveling and processing and healing from likely for years and years and years to come. And what's really interesting is that I've been attracting to me a lot of people who have had similar abuses that are also unaware, and it's very interesting. So, I recently had an astrology reading, and in that reading, she said one thing that I'm actually here to do is to take people through these deep processes, these very dark, deep processes, and bring healing in, like facilitate healing around this because um, every time I go through having one of these flashbacks and I process it, because how it works for me is always with everything that I do is that I so many of you will resonate with this. I never I don't tiptoe in. I never test the water. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, let's just dive right in. Let's go straight into the deep end, fully surrender to like fully surrender. I'll see you out the other side. Like that's how these flashbacks work. It's like I'll have periods of time where it's like, okay, the waters are calm. I'm going through life. I'm building, I'm creating business, I'm getting out there, I'm seeing clients, I'm mothering, I'm doing my thing. And then what something will trigger, whatever it is, divine timing, whatever. And then a flashback will occur and it will be an entire event. And everything stops and I am like fully in the deep end of this thing. I become the child. I physically embody the child that experienced the abuse. I'm speaking as the child. I'm only seeing the reality that I am physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually embodying this child. And that's not necessarily the process for everybody else, but that seems to be the process for me. And I've done it enough. Oh, I don't want to say this. I feel like I'm going to curse myself, but I feel as if I've done it enough times now to feel and understand and almost be able to hold space for myself to go through and surrender into this process. When it was first occurring, I didn't know what the F was going on. I didn't understand. It was just full on chaos. Um, but now, because I've so many times, I now can recognize when it's coming. And so therefore I can prepare my environment for it. I can create a safe space for it and I can allow myself to go into this process. And it's like it feels after that astro reading, this process it's felt like a training program because once you heal from something, there was this quote that I read. It's like you've healed when you can now give it away. You know, I'm totally butchering it, but that's what I'm going with right now. And this is a process that it feels like I'm in a training program for being able to facilitate and hold space for people to go through this same deep, dark process. And I've actually practiced on willing participants a couple of times, and the healing has been quite profound and quite rapid and almost instant results. So that's kind of something that I am building upon in the background, this taking people through these deep processes of literal like death and rebirth, using numerology as an access into understanding how they are going to specifically go through these processes and what specific things would have triggered them, et cetera, et cetera. So the numerology makes a massive difference being able to hold space and facilitate for these things. And also like using light language and multiple different things. And so every time I go through one of these flashbacks and I process and I heal these pieces of myself, um, uh, it's like it unlocks a new ability, or my frequency rises. You know what I mean? And not the last one, but the one before that, I had this major flashback. It was huge, and then processed it, worked through it, and then the day after, the next day, I was having a conversation with a woman at like a homeschool meetup that I was at, and she was something, she was contending with something, to make a decision, yes or no, about something in her life. It's a pretty big decision. Her husband was for yes, she was not sure about it, and she knew all of the benefits for it. There was just something that just wasn't. And I'm just holding space for this conversation and really listening. And then all of a sudden I start to notice her consciousness floating around her. And I'm seeing her consciousness, and I can't explain how I'm seeing it, but I'm seeing this consciousness float around like nothing is happening. And I'm noticing it, and I'm noticing, oh, it's blocked up here. Let me just expand something here for you. Or while I'm listening to her, I'm not doing any, I'm just expanding this part here where there was blockage. And that was an interesting little experiment type thing. And then within 5 minutes, she was just like out of nowhere, oh, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead with this thing. Like very, very, very interesting. It was like a 45-minute conversation. And for 40 minutes, she was on the fence. I don't know. This is like to and froing. And then all of a sudden, I see this consciousness. I pull on a piece of blockage. I don't know what to call it. And here we go. Decisiveness. We're making a decision. We're doing it. We're going ahead. So, it's really profound, it's been such a rapid, like a rapid, and a process with it's just like velocity. It's just been unraveling at a crazy pace. I'm not like going after it. I'm not like, come on, next flashback, let's go. Like, because they're not, like, I process the initial reliving part of it, the initial like actual memory itself, but then there's like an integration phase that happens afterwards, and uh it's like learning the truth about yourself and like what really happened, and then allowing that to simmer and get into and integrate into all of the cells in your being, because you live life thinking, oh, this is me. This is my life story. This is who I am. This is the kind of person. This is my capacity. This is what I'm here for. Da, da, da. And then this happens, and it's just like, it just shocks every part of you, and you just don't. It's huge. So there's the initial, processing of the event, let's call it, and then there's the integrating it into life, into your life, into the reality, into your being, and how you do things and how you interact and how all of this stuff, so it's a huge process that I'm not hunting down to occur, to have rapidly, but it's like as soon as I'm done processing one, and integrating one, whoo, well, baby, you're ready for the next, and what's crazy is that I am getting to witness a level of growth in myself over such a short period of time. And it's incredible. And this is going to sound probably on the nose a little, but I have gratitude for it. I do. I have gratitude for it, which is only now, because I'm at this place of gratitude, can I speak about it, because I've been through all the stages. The denial stage was a big, long stage. But yeah, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful because I'm like getting to witness myself transform and evolve and expand and actually come into my highest, fullest, truest, most authentic essence. Even my voice has been going through rapid transformation. I mean, I've spent my entire life hating the sound of my own voice. And I had this recent channel come through that your voice is literally the resonance of your soul's consciousness. And so, when you put on the radio and there's distortion and you literally, it's like I can't listen to that. What I realized or received was that the voice I didn't like hearing was a distorted, suppressed, traumatized version of my voice, of my soul frequency, of my soul's consciousness. But now, as I've been going through this deep, deep, deep unraveling, I'm starting to recognize my soul, the resonance of my soul consciousness. Like it feels more like like home, this voice, and so wild. So wild. So that's a big update. And I know I'm just gonna let that simmer because that was big. That was big. That was big. A lot of you probably a lot of you are very psychic and aware anyway, so you likely picked up on signs with me, huh? So not necessarily a shock, but still sad is probably what you're feeling. I just wanted to extend my deepest gratitude to just the incredible community of souls that I have around me. I will never stop being grateful for every single one of you. And you know who you are because the tribe, the soul family of human beings that I have found myself within, there's no other way that I could have felt safe enough to go to these places, even though the physical connection is it's all online like that. It's that knowing that there are souls out there that are like family that have my back, like this is everything. And this is what the support and the love and the space holding that I've received through this process from people all over the place, and from unexpected places, is what fuels me to keep going with this mission and to record videos like this because I know I'm not the only one. And so just thank you so much to every single one of you. I cannot be here and be doing this without any of you. I have so much love and gratitude for you all. Okay, so that's big update number one. Big update number two is much more recent. Well, I mean, it's ongoing, the first update. But over the past, since this has been occurring and I've been going through these flashbacks, this is pretty major life transformations in a short space of time. And those flashbacks are not easy to manage or hold space for, especially if you don't know anything about how to do that. And so every area of my life has been rocked to its core. Every single area has been rocked and has transformed. And that includes my relationship. So obviously I'm a mum and I was married to my husband, now ex-husband, for, oh my gosh, we were together for 7 years, 7-year cycle, right? And that we have officially been separated now for a month, a whole month. And by the time you're seeing this video, it will be a month. So this is very sad that it had to end. Like I said, not a single one of us can escape this 9 year. Relationships have been breaking down everywhere. People have been getting sick everywhere. People have been losing their jobs everywhere. Major, major companies that have been around for, 50 plus years are going bankrupt. Like this is happening everywhere. And I make it a point in my life that I'm not an exception to any of this. I will face what I need to face. I will do what is required to do. I will stare the shit in the face in order to clean it. You know what like I will do it. I would do it. And in like making the hard choices, yeah. And so it is sad, it is unfortunate, it is a big fat shame that it had to end, especially because we have a beautiful 3-year-old between us. But this is ultimately what is best for everybody. And as I was one person when we married and when we met, and I'm not anything like that person now, which is hard. It's hard, and I cannot expect someone to, you know, be with that. You know what I mean? Especially it's for me, I have felt within myself with all of these flashbacks and everything that I'm learning about my true history, my true past. I really, I really cannot expect someone to know exactly how to deal with me. There's a level at which I feel volatile within myself, particularly inside of a relationship, because when that exists, there is an expectation that I automatically fall into, will walk into, that you should know how to deal with me, you know, and that's not fair on anybody. So space is absolutely required. I mean, this is obviously, I don't want to go into divulge all of the gory details about this because there are other people involved. But at the end of the day, it had to be this way. And I'm starting to think that, you know, the little boy that we brought into the world, the soul, is such a special soul. And those of you that have met him and know him, you know how special he is. I'm not just biased because I'm his mum and I think he's epic, which he is. Like, if that's the whole reason for why we had to come together, then for me, I will tick that as a successful relationship. And I'm still moving through spaces about this and all of the things, but this is what I mean. Like, I can't not be authentic. I can't not be like, here it all is, everybody. Now you know everything. So now there's no hiding, okay? Because I can't deal with that energy of hiding and like, tiptoeing and who knows and who doesn't and all of this kind of stuff. So a lot of you know that I'm married, that I was married, and I'm a mum because I'm passionate about both of those things. And so I just wanted to share this and have it be open out there for you all to know, because I know a lot of you are invested, right? Which I appreciate. So this does mean that so many things are now changing in my life, and business and availabilities and all of this kind of stuff. So this is, I trust in divine timing. I trust in divine timing. I absolutely freaking do. When you go through a childbirth experience that I have gone through, where I free birthed my son, right? No drugs, no medical support, just me and his dad, no painkillers, nothing, just my breath and my full surrender and trust in my body. Oh, crow, single crow. Sign of change, apparently. Full trust in my body, in the baby, in the process, in birth, in spirit, all of it. Then you understand at a deep, animalistic, primal, cellular, spiritual level, divine timing. Divine timing. So that experience taught me so much about the world and everything in it. But the big thing that I learned was divine timing. It's perfect. Every contraction that comes, however long it lasts, however long it stays, however long it goes, however long the breaks are in between. Sometimes I'd have a break between contractions that was 2 minutes, that was every, textbook. They would last 45 to 60 seconds, 3 to 4 times every 10 minutes. That's textbook, what you read, what to expect, right? Sometimes it was like that for 2 hours straight. Sometimes it was, I'd have a contraction that lasted 2 minutes and then nothing for 45 minutes, right? Not like if I gave birth in the system, I would have been induced. I would have been hooked up to heart monitors. I would have, like, there would have been a lot of heavy push and pressure for, what's a word? It's lost on me. Intervention in my birth, because it just was completely and utterly unpredictable. So I now deeply trust in divine timing. And so I feel as if these things that I've shared with you are all things that were all meant to happen, and they were meant to happen when they were meant to happen, to open into something new. And I'm feeling very strongly an intense rebirthing of myself at a whole other layer and level. I'm feeling so much focus and drive to really show the world who I really am, that I've discovered so far, and continually to show the world who I continually evolve to be. I've definitely been in a more hidden behind the scenes phase, which I know may sound a little bit funny, because, you know, those of you that have been following me for some time are like, wow, you're quite loud and crazy. But I definitely have been hiding to some extent and not showing up as much as I probably could. But I think that was also necessary, absolutely necessary, given what I've been going through and processing. And so now it's a time for me to, I'm so nervous sharing this. Now I'm feeling that it's time. It's time. The rebirth is coming, and I'm now needing to start showing myself fully to the world in who I am and what I'm capable of and what I have capacity for, and what I'm here to offer and give people. So I'm really excited about it. This means that my entire business, podcast, like everything is going to be complete, website, everything is going to be completely upheaved and transformed and restructured and rebranded, and everything. I'm so excited to introduce, when it's ready, my new brand, so to speak, within the realm of numerology, and where I'm going to be taking that. It's so exciting where it's headed and where it's going, and the opportunities that are showing up inside of this. I definitely also want to focus more on my healing side of offering, so to speak. And so I will be actually launching. I've been working one-on-one with clients for, about 12 months now. And it's like under the guise of numerology guidance. And it has been so incredible, so potent, and so powerful. And those clients have seen like amazing results in their life. It's so exciting. And I'm very grateful for that. And so the next step for that is to do that one-on-one at a group level, borderline group therapy, but I'm not going to use that therapy word. I'm going to call it something cool and funky, because that's what I do, cool and funky, right? But it'll be a space like that where it'll be very much guided by the people that come into the group. And the intention behind it is that we're aligning you to your fullest expression of yourself, whatever they are. And we get to use your numbers as the access point in understanding what that full expression is, but also what specific ways you may need to focus your healing, and it'll be a space for that whole spectrum. So the intention is to become the fullest expression of yourself and have that be actualized and realized in your physical real world life. And we're going to be able to work through all the pieces that need to happen to get there, if that makes sense. Because that is literally what I have been doing for myself, with myself, literally that process. And it's literally the death and the rebirth process. So this is the next step for me, and the next step of where I'm taking one of the next step I'm taking numerology. I am also considering offering some one-on-one healing sessions. I've been doing this in the background, offering it, doing it privately with some really close friends, and they're seeing some amazing results. It's like healing, energy healing. What I a really good friend of mine offered me the title consciousness healing because he said that was more accurate with what I actually did for him. So I really like that consciousness healing. And I'm a 303 life path, and the threes are they literally represent consciousness. And I witnessed a woman's consciousness, and I have done that, seen that now with multiple people as well. So that's really, really cool and exciting. So sometime this month in June, I'll tell you all about the energy in June in a moment. I will be launching this, I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but group guidance session things. It's going to be offered at a much cheaper rate than what my one-on-one sessions are offered at, because I just want to get this to everybody. And yes, I think it will be very, very, very valuable. So please be patient with me over the next few months while I go through this huge transition with business and rebranding and new websites. There's going to be a new podcast. As soon as I can possibly get this thing out there, I'm working really hard in the background on creating all of this stuff. So until that new podcast is born, I'm going to just resort to recording videos and putting it out there because I don't know what else to do. um, so please be patient with me while I go through this whole business logistical restructuring, rebrand, everything like that. What else do I want to update you on? So that's super exciting. I'm going to start doing more in-person events. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this because it makes me so nervous. But I've had a good taste now doing these events with Dale Holmes, which I'm so deeply grateful for. Thank you, Dale, for bringing this into my field as an opportunity for me to, I know I said I did do this, but kind of test the waters a little bit. I'm not an events person. I'm not at all. I've never done that. I never dreamed of doing that. And yet I found myself in this position of doing that. And Dale and I will definitely, we'll do more of these events. But I think I keep getting called to literally people calling me, telling me that it wasn't long enough. I really loved what you were talking about, but I could have listened to you for longer, and people coming up to me saying, all right, whenever you do your own numerology thing, I'm going to be there. People telling me that I need to do this. So I'm listening, everybody. I'm listening, and I'm going to start scheduling and doing some more live. I don't know what they're going to be called yet. Numerology conference, live workshops. I don't know yet, but I intend on doing some more in-person things where it's me. It's me. It's not Georgina and someone. It's me. So that's making me feel a little bit soily in my pants. was trying to think of a polite way to say that, but there isn't one. So there you go. There probably is, but I couldn't think of it. Sorry, Rachel, if you're listening to this. She's gonna hate that I said that. Um, so what else? Yes, I'm gonna be doing more. Oh, I intend on doing more live events. In fact, I've just been invited to a this really amazing women's empowerment in business, big kind of huge, big deal business retreat thing in Bali to speak 6 hours all about numerology and showing them how they can use numerology for their business and et cetera, because it's exactly what I've done. And that's super exciting. I'm super excited to bring this into that space because I think, this is where numerology is just going to grow and expand from there. And I really want it to become mainstream because we all have a freaking birth date that we should be able to understand like this, the intention for me for numerology and why I do it is for the empowerment of sovereignty for the individual. So every individual is counted in that. So many exciting things are happening, and I'm just very grateful for all of it. Okay, all right. Now I'll give you the part that you want to hear. The energy in June. The energy in June is okay. So the numbers for June 2025 it's a 15-6 energy, and every month in 2025, because it's a 9 energy year and the way that it gets calculated, the energy of the month matches the month that we're in, which doesn't happen every year. So, for example, last year, August was the 8th month. So last year, 2024, it was an 8 universal energy year. 2, 2, and 4 is 8 universal energy year. Okay, August was the 8th month, right? Under the current calendar that we go by, okay, August is the 8th month. But the way that it's calculated, August was actually a 7 universal energy month. So it was 8 for the universal year energy, 7 energy for the universal month. Okay, so it doesn't always line up. In fact, it only lines up once every 9 years when we're under a 9 year. This year we're under a 9 year, so it's really easy to know what the energy of the month is because it's whatever the month is, right? So it's 6 is the month for June. June is the 6th month. Therefore, it's a 6 energy month. Now, specifically 15-6 energy, 156. And I always make a habit of understanding all the numbers involved because they all impact, right? So what does this mean? Well, 6 is earth. I look at it like earth energy, right? It is creation itself, creation into the physical. So and responsibility. And if you look at, so Mother Earth, she's physical, she is fertile. That 6 is that is a feminine energy, and it looks like a pregnant lady, right? So it's the birth and creation into the physical and the divine responsibility for that creation. 6 is 3 on one side, 3 on the other. It's all about balance, harmony, peace, okay? But at the same time, it's a very fierce feminine energy. It's like Mother Nature. The moment something goes out of balance, boom, tsunami, right? So she's fierce as heck, Mother Nature. And when you go out into the wild, you don't fear the father bears, you fear the mother bears, right? This is the 6 energy. It's fierce, protective energy, right? A 6 energy will blow things up. She will send in a tsunami, right? If it means restoring peace, in order to restore peace. 6s ultimately want balance, harmony, peace, provide, nurture, and security. This is the desire of this 6 energy. Okay. When you have a 6 under a 9 energy year, those two combine, and the 9 wants to bring to the surface anything that doesn't serve it, anything that's unhealed, that you've been tolerating for way too long that you shouldn't be. So now we're talking about things that you things that are insecure for you, areas of your life that you feel insecure. So I'm going to talk personally, and then I'm going to talk more on a larger scale. Anywhere where you feel insecure, whether it's within yourself, your relationship with yourself, your belief systems, whether it's in the relationships in your life, whether it's your physical home, anywhere in your physical home that you feel insecure, you feel at risk, you feel at threat, or safety, security is threatened in your physical home, right? They say that so it's a very protective energy, right? So what that looks like when it's embodied in a human, right? It looks like protection via prevention, because we're not built like bears, right? We're not going to physically rip something apart, but we will. We will, mind you. Don't get me wrong. We will if we get pushed to that point, right? But because the sixes in a human, they desire balance, the way that they will rip something apart is in a more passive sense, right? Rather than like that, okay? So in the human embodiment of a six energy, we protect via prevention. This is why women and mothers especially will be thinking 10 million steps in the future, right? I'll be working away at something, making decisions now for something that's going to impact 10 years down the line, right? We protect via prevention. And when men have six energy, their capacity to perceive certain threats before there's been even a whiff in that direction, it's like they will plug up, they will see holes that need to be plugged up and plug them up before there's even anything dripping, right? They also, a lot of men who have six energy will work in some kind of security at some point in their life because they're just so good at perceiving potential threats, right? It's just like a sixth sense. Okay. So all of that to say, any area where there is where there is an active insecurity, whether it's internal or external in your environment, or whether even if there is a potential for something that's going to threaten your security. So all of that under a nine energy is going to be brought up to the surface, baby. And it's like the capacity that you will have to let it go, deal with it, let it go. Like you just want to, it's like, we're doing it now, baby. And it's an energy that's ferocious, because the sixes are ferocious. When something's out of balance, I will restore the balance. I'll do whatever the heck I need to do to restore. But you're doing it under a nine energy, which is death and rebirth type energy. So it's a very, it's like a grounded, fiery, fierce, don't F with me. Bye-bye to the nice girl, the good girl, the smile on my. No, 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 no. I'm now going to say exactly what I need to say. I'm going to do exactly what I need to do. If you're not going to stand alongside me and be with me, then move the F out of the way. It is fierce, sassy, like I'm dealing with shit type energy, and do not mess with me, okay? If you have six energy, just think about what it's like when you go to get something out of one of the drawers in the kitchen and it's not there. That rage, that fury, that fierceness that you expect, expect that this month, okay? Use it productively. Use it, fuel it, funnel it, channel it towards productivity, okay? May was quite a chaotic type month, right? But it was a chaos that felt directionless almost. It was like, oh, over here, over here, over here. Things were flying, like being in the spin cycle. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh gosh, I don't know where to hold on to, you know. And the month of June still gonna have a sense of chaoticness about it, but it will be like directed chaos, right? Because it's in the name of restoring balance. Okay. So that's at that's at a internal, personal, individual kind of level. Um, on a more larger scale, Mother Earth is going to be speaking this month. I don't know if you've experienced this, but um, the weather lately, the weather and the geostorming, and I've been keeping an eye on like the KP index lately, which is like, oh gosh, I'm going to try and explain something I know not very much about, but it's like the higher the KP index is, like that's when you see the aurora in the sky at night, et cetera, which is like the electricity in the air kind of thing. Oh my gosh, I hope I did that some justice. But anything energetic and like electrical like that in the ether impacts us so much. So there has been multiple volcanic eruptions, very recent, and like there's been a volcanic eruption occur with the same volcano, but this volcano would erupt multiple times. Like it's known to erupt, but the most recent eruption has been like the largest, you know what I mean? There's been like earthquakes around different. So the weather, and Jason Brashears spoke about in one of his videos that he thinks that one of the next seals will be something to do with the weather. Okay. So when I talk about look around your home, what's insecure, get it secured, bring balance, bring harmony, like do that, do all of that, not from a place of fear, but from a place of protection via prevention. Okay. So I know so many people, just going back to like the geostorms and the Aurora KP index kind of stuff. So many people over the last week became really sick with some kind of throat thing, right? Like the symptoms were almost like tonsillitis, like you can't swallow, hurts to speak, hurts to cough, lots of mucus build up, but you can't do anything about that mucus because it hurts too much to try and bring it up. Like pressure in your ears, headaches, migraines, like different little body ache type symptoms. So many people, some very awake and aware people, some not awake and aware, but like 10, 15 plus people that I know had all of these same symptoms, including myself. And I thought I had tonsillitis. Like I thought I did. Because like those are the symptoms that I've had. I still have my tonsils. But I think it was partly this thing that's going on with Mother Earth. Like she's speaking. There's so much energetic movement happening at the moment, and we're going to feel the fierceness of her. So keep an eye out on the different weather reports from different places around the world, because there is actually so much going on, and use your discernment. Yes, I'm going to use that. I think that works. Use your discernment to discern what you think is organic and what you think is intentional, right? Because the prices of everything are skyrocketing. They're continuing to rise. There is a shortage of different things, and weather plays a huge part in that. So impacts this impacts so many things down the line. Okay. So this is why you want to use the energy that we have on offer for us to restore in your life, in your home, in your in your freezers, whatever, to prepare to protect via prevention, whatever you need to do. This is the energy to do it. Like this is how you can use this to your advantage, because this is how. I don't know why I said it, because that should have been the end of the sentence. So that is the energy for June. That is also the update I wanted to give you. If you haven't joined my email list, they get all the updates first every month. I have had a bit of a break from doing these monthly updates because of everything I shared in the first part of this video, but I'm getting back into it. I'm getting back into it. Okay. So if you want to be the first one to receive all the updates from me about anything and everything, those amazing people that are subscribed on my email list get it all first. I'll typically record a video afterwards, but they get all access to all of everything, including discounts from time to time and et cetera, et cetera. So go join that if you haven't already. And look out for the update for my new group work guidance thing. Yet to have a title, but look out for that because that's coming soon and that's going to be epic. And if you would be interested, I haven't formally created any kind of structure around this because it's literally something that I am experimenting with at the moment, although it has been incredibly, I mean, like for me to be saying this, and it's a big deal, it has been incredibly impactful and potent, and there has been really clear and almost instant results with this more healing, consciousness healing thing that I have been experimenting with. So if you are someone that kind of speaks to you, I'd really appreciate hearing from you. I haven't put anything together around like any kind of official offering or anything like that, but it would mean the world to me to hear from you, it would just help me to kind of formulate something and to make sense of something and to just work with something. So I really, really would love to hear from you if that speaks to you. And of course, as always, I want to hear from any of you that either want to share something with me or comment something, ask any questions whatsoever. Just thank you so much for your patience. That crow's just hung around over there. It's so cool. Thank you all so much for your patience with me over the next little while everything goes through a bit of an upheaval. And thank you for listening to this video and for your support. Trust me, I feel it. I feel the energy of it. And I'm so deeply grateful for it. I'm very excited for what is to come. And I'm excited for the growth on all parts. So, yes, and if you haven't subscribed to me on the channels that I'm there on, you can find me on all the places. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Telegram, I'm on YouTube, and I am on Facebook. Although I'm not great at using Facebook, but I am there. And on the podcast places too. But there will be a new podcast coming. All right, lovelies, thank you so much. Love you all. And I will see you on the interwebs.